Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah. In this video I'm going to show you how to assemble this super cute layered mandala love cloud for Valentine's Day. Now this has got loads of layers. If I turn it you can see them, and best of all it's free to download from my blog. So head on over to craftwithsarah.com to download the free SVG, and I'll put a link in the description of this video to the exact page where you can get it. So let's see how to put it all together. Here's the page on my website where you can get the free layered design. I'll put a link to this page in the description of the video. So what you need to do is click Add to Basket, and then this message will come up and you can click View Basket. If you want to, you can click all freebies in the top right, and that will show you all of my free designs, so you could add some more to your basket if you want to, but if you just want this one, then you can click Proceed to Checkout. Although it says checkout, it is all free. So you've now got this page here. If you've already got a free account on my website, you can click here to log in, but if you don't, then use the form here to create an account. After you've clicked Place Order, you'll get an email with a link to download the file, or you can click the orange button here to download it. So just click this and it will start the download. The file will probably go to your downloads folder, but I've just moved mine into something empty so that you can just see this without seeing all my other downloads. It will download as a zip folder, and in order to upload the file into Design Space or your cutting machine software, you need to right click and then press Extract All. You can then just choose where you want to save the final files to. I normally just click Extract. This gives you a new folder, and this time you can see it doesn't have that little zip on it, so I can double click in there to see the files. I've got the heart design in 3 different formats: DXF, which is for silhouette machines, PNG, which is for hand cutting, and SVG, and this is the one you want to use with your Cricut machine. So for all my designs, if you're loading it into Design Space, you must choose the file name which starts SVG. There's also an assembly guide in here which shows you the order to stick the layers together on. So that's just a quick handy guide to show you how to do it, but we're going to go through that in more detail in the next part of this video. So now we've downloaded the files, I'll show you how to get them into Cricut Design Space. I've opened up Design Space and I'm going to click New Project. Once this screen has loaded, click on Upload and then Upload Image. You can now find the file on your computer by pressing Browse and going to it, or if you've got it open already in this Windows Explorer box, you can just click and drag. Now remember what I said, the one you want is the one that starts SVG. The other ones won't work in Design Space. So I'm going to click and drag that one, and then it will look like this, so I can click Save. And then it will appear in my recently uploaded images, so I can click on it and then press Insert Images, and that's going to put it onto the canvas. So here is the design, and by default it should load in at 8 inches tall, which I think is quite a nice size to cut it at, but you can resize it by clicking and dragging or using the width and the height boxes at the top of the screen if you want to set it to a particular height. The layers all come grouped, so as you resize it they all change in proportion, and you can see them all in the layers panel on the right. When you're ready to cut, click Make It, and that will sort all of the different shapes onto the different colours for you, so it's all ready to cut out on whatever size and type of cardstock that you choose. I normally change it to A4 paper because that's what I have most of, so if you want to change it, just click into the drop down and then just select the other paper size. When you're ready, hit Continue and then follow the steps on the screen to cut everything out with your Cricut machine. So here are my layers all cut out, and I like to position them in order, one on top of the other, just to check that I've got all of the bits. I'm going to stick this together with glue. I'm using tacky glue with a nice thin nozzle and 3D foam pads. Now my foam pads are quite big, so I'm going to need to cut them smaller, so just take a pair of scissors if yours are big too and cut some thin strips. I'm going to take apart the layers that I've positioned one on top of the other and take the one that I need to stick first. And that's this cloud with the kind of edge of the circle filled in. So turn it upside down and add some pieces of foam pads to the back. Make sure you get them all around the edge and in the middle, but don't go over any of the holes. And then take the backings off the foam and line it up against your base image. Make sure you've got it lined up really nicely. And then when you're happy, press down to seal all of those foam pads and make sure they're stuck nicely. Next, we're going to stick on the top layer of the cloud. So turn it upside down, and this time we're going to use glue because the pieces inside are so thin. I like using tacky glue as it has a lovely thin nozzle that makes this easier. When you've added the glue, turn the cloud upside down and then stick it on top of the previous layer. The nice thing about glue is you've got a little bit of wiggle room if you need to move the layer about to get it perfectly in position. Next, we need to attach the hearts, and I'm going to use the 3D foam pads again to stick one of the largest pink hearts to each of the blue spaces on the bottom. So I'm going to select one of the hearts, turn it upside down, and add a little piece of foam onto the back. And once that's done, I can repeat the same thing for all of those solid pink hearts. Next is the second largest heart with the little edges cut out, and once again we're going to be using foam. So take your small pieces of foam, you might need to cut it small with scissors if yours is too big, and stick it to the back, making sure you don't put any foam over those holes in the middle of the heart. And then go through and do all of them. Finally, we've got these teeny tiny small hearts, and you can glue these or use foam, but I think it looks nicest if you do use the foam as you get that extra 3D layer. I'm going to need to cut my foam extra small for these as they really are tiny. Make sure your foam's small enough that you don't see any pieces going outside the edge of the heart. But once you've done one, then you can do all of them. So here is my finished layered cloud for Valentine's Day. I hope that you like it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut Design Space videos and layered freebie designs.